What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of HKB Podcast, Season 2, Episode 8. We've been gone for a couple weeks, but we're back now. We got a jam-packed episode for you. You guys know how this works. If you watch every time, give me an audio check, give me a video check. Let me know you can hear me and see me all right. All right, Matt, we started just for you. I saw you jump in and we got on. So we're there. Andrew in the house, what's going on, dude? Kevin James. Mr. Wicked Waits right there. What's going on, guys? So yeah, let me know you can hear me, see me okay, and we'll get this show started. Please give this a share. Share it in your group, share it with your friends and your family, and help us spread the word about this awesome kayak fishing community here in the Hoosier State. We got a lot going on for you tonight. We're going to talk about what's been happening, what's getting ready to happen. We got two awesome guests for you tonight. Our main guest tonight is Kyle King. We're talking about King Angler rods and rod selection for you guys out there on the water. And then we're going to be talking to Brendan here in a few moments about an awesome event coming up here in Indiana that we need your guys' help supporting and getting the word out about. So without further ado, we gotta talk about top performers. Troy, thank you for giving me the thumbs up there. What's up, Justin? Appreciate you guys jumping on. We got to talk about top performers. I failed to make a post this week, and I apologize for that. I'm going to try and make it up right now, and we're going to talk about what happened last week before we start talking about what's going on this week and to come. So last week, Grassroots Bass Yakking Indiana chapter had two different events, one on Raccoon Lake and the other one was on Brookville. Brookville starting out, new series for Grassroots Bass Yakking. A lot of people I know were excited about that. And we're going to talk about that real quick. I'm going to share with you guys kind of the results here. We're going to talk about our top performers. So let me get the screen popped up here. All right, so starting with Brookville, presented by Biz Baits, True South. We had no one fishing Thursday. Friday, no one fishing. Saturday, Jason Young coming in with 3 fish for 34 3/4 inches. On Sunday, we had Jason and Mr. Kyle King, tonight's guest. We'll talk to him a little bit about this event. With 22 1/4 for Jason. And then on the final day, Monday, is where things started happening. And Paul Worley with a nice 20-inch fish right there. Brookville Lake stud grabbing a 5-fish limit for 65 3/4 inches and taking the win there. Moving on to Raccoon Lake, presented by Wicked Waits. Again, no one was fishing Thursday. Friday, we had 6 anglers. Only 2 fish were caught. 32 1/2 inches was the leader on Friday, Tyler Atwell. Saturday, though, Cole Ritter came in. He grabbed 4 for 62 inches. Would go on to win the tournament with 62 inches. Next best was Brian Moore, continuing to have a strong season points-wise. 57 1/4 inches for Brian Moore, but Cole coming in with 62 inches. We'll see here on his big bass was 19 inches. And good fish right there for Raccoon Lake. So you got Cole and Paul were your top performers this week. Paul with the big fish, and also the big bag of the week at 65.75. Things are still tough here in Indiana, as you guys can see. Starting to pick up. We're starting to get the longer days, the warmer weather. Certain parts of the state are kind of picking up a little faster than others. It's definitely been tough, but starting to turn around. This rain, I think, that we've had, this warm weather is going to help. But we do have some cold weather coming. So this weekend is probably going to be the weekend to get out and take advantage of this warm stretch and get a good bite. Right now is the time of year, man, where you can catch your biggest fish, catch that PB, and it's the best time to get out there and do it. Of course, we got SIAC Fallen Outdoors month-long event happening right now. And, man, check out the totals here. This, let me go full screen here. This is pretty good stuff. You got Matt Kiefer, SIAC champion. He's also been an AOY. He's leading it with 99 inches. He's got 3 fish over 20, which is really impressive. He's gonna be looking for those 21s now to try and get that high total there that he's looking for. But still, we got Brian in there with 89, Tyler Peters with 88, Brent Sharp 83. I think big bass right now is Troy Stinson with a 21 and a quarter inch stud right there. Look at that fish. Beautiful fish. So that's what's kind of going on right now. That's what's happening over the last week or so. Those are your top performers, your big catch of the week and your big bag of the week coming from Paul. Then we've got some tournaments that started today. We'll jump over here real quick, take a look at HKB's website here, and we'll show you guys this. So you guys go to HoosierKayakBassin.com, go up here to the top, Tournament Central. Scroll down, you'll see live leaderboards. We just took a look at SIAC. Let's see what's going on in the IK Big Bass Hunt real quick. We got Jeremiah Thompson still leading at 38, 3/4 inches, anchored by 21 and a quarter inch smallmouth right there. Could be the big one of the year. We'll see if anyone breaks it. I doubt it, but beautiful, beautiful fish right there. And then we got the big largemouth of the tournament right now, 2175, Matt Johnson. Look at that tub right there. That is a giant fish. That was a fun catch, guarantee. It looks like he caught it on a spinning reel too. Man, that would have been fun. So that's what we got going on there. Kind of go back here real quick. Sullivan today, kicking off. Jim Strunk was the only angler fishing. He had 76.50. Good total out there for Sullivan for Jim Strunk. White River new series kicked off for Grubby today as well. Nathan putting up 84 and a quarter inches. Awesome total there for Nathan. I think there was 5 guys fishing today. A total of 55 signed up. Very, very impressive numbers for that event and for Grubby. To see a series like that. We had 75 today, 50, 75, and 30, 75. So that's going to be an interesting leaderboard to watch, guys. So make sure to check that one. And I don't believe anyone fished at Brush Creek today. If they did, they didn't catch much. So, yeah, that's that, guys. That's what's happening here in the state of Indiana right now. If you guys want to catch those leaderboards, obviously you can find them on Tourney X, or you can go to hkb.com under Tournament Central and see all the live leaderboards there. Upcoming events this week. Thursday kicks off the new Summit series for Grubby. Grubby launching a bunch of new series this year. Summit Lake kicks off Thursday. That's going to be a fun event. I'm planning on signing up for that one myself. Not sure what day I'll fish yet. That's where we had the state championship a few weeks back. Going to be a good event. Looking forward to it. We also, not here in the state of Indiana, but we're going to mention it because it is a part of the Grubby Indiana chapter for now. Lake St. Clair kicking off, and the Grubby Trail Series also going to Lake St. Clair this week, starting Thursday. So make sure to check that one out as well. I know a lot of you are planning on going up for that, and we look forward to seeing what the totals are from that event. We also have coming up very soon, the Paddle and Fin Trail Series kicks off in Indiana on the Tippecanoe River. Good old Tippy. That's April 24th. So that's coming up really quick. Make sure to get signed up for that event. I hear the biggest smallmouth in the state may live in that river system there. So I'm not sure, never been there. That's just what I hear. Some of you may disagree with that though. Those of you that fish Sugar and White River. So make sure to check that out. We also have a charity event coming up in May for Cash Hicks. Great charity event here put on by Grubby. More information about that on Tourney X. Make sure to check that out. Get with Brian Sparks. He can tell you all about that event. That starts May 1st. It's a month-long nationwide event. Proceeds going to help out Cash Hicks, who is battling cancer. I think this is round 2 for him. Thoughts and prayers for him and the family. Make sure to get into that event and check that out. We'll have more about that probably next week as we get a little bit closer to the event, but definitely want to inform you guys of that going in. Last but not least, we have SIAC, April 25th, I think it is, Sunday. Patoka Lake coming up. That's going to be a fun event. SIAC kind of kicks off their season every year with this charity event, the month long, but the first on-site event for SIAC, kind of that real start to the season, is going to be on Patoka at the end of the month. So make sure to get signed up for that one as well. And for those of you that are just signing in, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for jumping on and watching with us today. We're getting ready to bring on our first guest, which is Brendan McDougall, and he's going to be talking about another charity event popping up. We had an angler who has been in the community for a long time here in the state of Indiana and had kind of a pretty tragic event happen to him, at least to his gear. And we're going to talk about that here in a second, an event we got coming up for him. So without holding off any longer, we're going to bring on my man, Brendan McDougall. What's up, sir?
What's going on? How are you, Sam?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Sorry for holding off so long, but I didn't make some posts earlier this week, so I had to give some love to those guys who are out there competing and fighting for these tournaments. So
for sure.
Thanks for waiting in the green room.
For sure.
Well, man, about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago now, even. A good friend of all of ours, Glenn Landstrom, made a post letting everyone know that, unfortunately, he had a really bad fire in the garage, lost all of his gear, tens of thousands of dollars, and not only fishing stuff, but all of his other outdoor stuff for his business, just complete loss. Sounds like maybe it was the batteries that caused the issue there. And, one great thing about this community is guys like you always step up to help out, the guy next to him. And you're doing it in a big, big way. So you found out about Glenn and what was going on with him, and you decided, hey, I'm going to put together an event to help him out. So tell us about that event, Brendan.
Yeah, found it out. And like you said, the kayak community, we all got each other's back. So thought I'd run a little charity tournament just to raise money to him. Whole purpose of that event. And I guess I'll run it down. There's not a lot of rules. I'll run through all those, and I'll just run through the companies helping for this event. So basically it's going to be a 4-day event, guys. So it's going to be April 16th, the 17th, the 18th, and the 19th. So a 4-day event. Time starting at 5:00 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 16th, and then ending the 19th at 9:00 p.m. So those are your times and dates. So you got a few days to fish, or you can fish every day if you want. It's not like a single day, multi-day event. So it's catch or hog trough only. So most guys are going hog or catch board now, but if you still have a hog trough, you now have access to a catch board. You can use that hog trough for this event. Just make sure your lines are clearly marked. I know some guys have issues with that on the hog trough. So it's going to be a top 5 getting prizes from the sponsors for this event and big bass, one big bass prize. That's cool. And the watercraft is just kayaks, paddle, pedal, or power. So trolling motors are allowed. And then obviously your pedal drives and your paddle kayaks. And then your best 5, There's no size limit. Thought I'd just make it pretty easy. So if you do catch one under 12 inches, while the standard limits now are 12 inches, you can submit any fish you catch as long as it's a black bass, so spotted bass, smallmouth, or largemouth. And then at 4 o'clock a.m. on April 16th, your identifier code comes out on Tourney X. So
Awesome.
if you're going to get up early, it'll be on there for you at 4 a.m. So it should give you enough time to get that written down. You don't have to use any certain identifier either. You can write on your hand a piece of paper. Just make sure it's clear and in the picture. So
very cool. Very cool. So April 16th, that kicks off, and it runs to when?
The 19th.
19th, kayaks only, best 5 fish. What's the entry fee?
$20. It's just
$20.
I want to thank Tourney X a lot and Dwayne over at Tourney X. So all 100% of that $20 is going to go to Glenn. So there's not going to be a Tourney X fee. Every bit of that $20 goes to Glenn, guys, which is pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah. So even if you can't fish the event, you don't think you'll be able to get out and compete, definitely consider signing up for it. All the proceeds are going to go to Glenn. And, and for those of you that can compete and get out there, a lot of great prizes. We'll let Brennan kind of talk about who some of those sponsors are. This is nationwide, correct?
Yes, sir. Got set. So nationwide, all public water. So you can fish any public water in the country, nationwide. So if you're not in the state of Indiana, you can still fish it wherever you're at. It's pretty cool. So
awesome.
Like Sam's saying too, if you can't fish, feel free to donate. That would help a lot. Like you said, all the money's going to Glenn. So
that's awesome.
Help him out.
Yeah. So nationwide. So that means share it with all of your friends, right? It's not just an Indiana event. Let everyone know that they can sign up. Let everyone know what this cause is for. This is to help out Glenn. Complete loss of thousands and thousands. If you guys don't know, Glenn had one of the most rigged out kayaks in the sport right now. And he lost it all, plus his other kayaks, other gear. So helping out a friend here. This is, to answer Billy's question, this is available on Tourney X. It's under the Glenn Landstrom's charity event. I'll show it to you here real quick, guys. Glenn Landstrom's charity event. That's how you search it. We'll put a link on HKB along with the Cash Hicks charity event very soon for you guys. But we already got 12 guys signed up for this. So please share it. For those of you that are going up to Lake St. Clair, since it's nationwide, you go put those big smallies on the catch board, and those will count towards this event as well. So perfect timing for that. But yeah, it's available on Tourney X, and a lot of great sponsors here. Brandon, why don't you tell us who's got involved in this?
Yeah, we got a lot of awesome sponsors. I want to thank each and every one of these companies. There's quite a bit of them, starting off with Biz Baits. They're stepping up for this event. Then going on to Hoosier Kayak Bassin. Since they're based in the state of Indiana, the top finishing Indiana angler is going to get a paid entry fee in quite a few events. So you can pick, I believe it's just one event, right? You just pick one of these events.
Yeah, yep, one event, and I'm gonna pay that Tourney X fee for or Fishing Chaos for any Indiana event, whether that be IKA, SIAC, Grubby, IKT, KBF, whatever it is. If it's held here in the state of Indiana, it's on me for the top placing Indiana angler.
Appreciate it, Sam. And Wicked Weights is also stepping up. So huge thank you to them, along with TRC Covers as well. They're going to be donating some stuff for this event. And Boeing Lures as well. So they're going to be sending a prize package. Moon Pie Outdoors, they're going to be donating. I don't know if it's all they do is charters. I'm assuming it is, but they're going to be donating a full day 4-person bow fishing charter in central and northern Illinois. So nice. Cool stuff there. Kistler Rods going to be putting in a combo. That's going to be your big bass prize from Kistler Rods. So one big bass prize coming from Kistler. Really appreciate it from them. And KBF is donating as well. Mr. Chad Hoover, really appreciate him stepping up as well. Mr. Twister is going to be sending in some soft plastics. Walton Rods and Range Reels as well. They're stepping up big. I think a few rods are coming in, which is awesome. And then Honey Creek Tackle here in Indiana, they're going to be donating, I believe, another combo as well. So quite a bit of awesome prizes. A lot of companies stepping up, like I said before I stated them all. Really appreciate each and every one of these companies for stepping up for this event. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's huge, man. And I'm hearing some familiar names there that have definitely helped support the local community here in Indiana and abroad. So that's awesome, man. I want to thank you for doing this, stepping up to the plate, taking on the challenge of putting this together. Shows a lot about your character and who you are. Not that I had any doubt before this, but just furthermore, proving to me that you're just an awesome guy. And I appreciate you very much, Brendan, for doing this for Glenn, and I know he does as well. So
I appreciate
awesome
it,
job,
man,
man.
for sure. So anyone on here, just share it with everybody you know, and hope to get as many anglers as we can possible. So just trying to help him out for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We got 12 signed up right now. We got about a week until this event kicks off, or a little less than, really. So please get out there, pump this out. Is there a Facebook post or anything already out there that they can share?
One on my Facebook, I have a post on it, and a lot of guys have already shared it as well. My Facebook's just Brendan McDougal. If you want to go on there, you can share it. But yeah, and then the link's on my Facebook as well. I guess you're going to be putting the link on HKB's site or something like that.
Yep.
Awesome. So, but yeah, you can go to my Facebook if you guys want. There's a post up on it already. All shares would be really appreciated, guys. So, just trying to get as many guys as we can to sign up.
Absolutely. And we'll be putting out something today or tomorrow, tomorrow or Saturday on this event for you guys as well on our socials, so that you guys can find that really easy. So thanks, Brendan, for coming on tonight, talking about this event, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for everything you're doing in this community. Can't say enough about you, dude.
Not a problem. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on here.
You bet, bud. All right. Have a good night, man. We'll see you soon.
You too. Appreciate it, man.
All right, guys. So there you have it. Get out there, find that on Tourney X after the podcast, and get signed up. Pretty easy to find on there. Just search Glenn Landstrom charity event, and we'll put the links out very soon as well. So that's what's going on, guys. Lot to choose from, lot to fish for, and a lot of people to help out right now. And it's all good stuff. So we appreciate everyone who is helping promote these charity events and getting involved. Sponsor-wise here in the state is huge. I know we've referenced a couple times this other charity event for Cash, and they've got great sponsors for that event as well. We're going to talk more about that probably next week with you guys. Yeah, get out there, get on Tourney X, and see what all's going on in the state and get signed up. It's got to bust open at some point. We've seen little glimpses of it, right? And it's about to pop off. So get signed up and get ready to fish. All right, guys. We got special guests tonight, Kyle King Angler Rods, awesome custom rod builder here in the state of Indiana, doing big things. And we're going to talk to him tonight, not only about King Angler rods, but also rod selections. A lot of questions come up about what rods to use in certain scenarios. So we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. Guys, it's going to be kind of an open forum thing. So if you have questions, please make sure to drop them in the comments so that we can answer those. Hopefully you guys will get something good out of this. I think you will. So let's get him in here. Kyle King looks like he's at the shop right now working on some rods as we speak. What's going on, dude?
Going.
It's going, man. It's going. Busy, you know.
Yep, same here.
I see that. What are you working on? You got a rod there.
Well, I'm working on a few things. Right now, really, one of my big projects is I've got a surf rod I'm building, but this is going to be one of my personal rods right here. This is something new that I'm going to be offering. I'm just having a hard time getting some of the components and stuff right now, but this is an actual 3K carbon fiber blank.
Ooh.
You know, all for the the carbon graphite. I've been doing it's 40-ton carbon graphite, and now I'm offering 3K carbon fiber.
And that is light as a feather, I bet.
They're awesome. So I'm looking forward to getting it on the water. So it'll be ready. I'll use it this weekend and then next weekend on St. Clair.
Awesome, man. Well, you've been around in the community for a while, not only as an angler, but as a rod builder. But for those watching or listening that don't know you, don't know your background, tell us a little bit about how you kind of got into kayak fishing, and then furthermore, how you got into building rods.
Well, I got into kayak fishing. I fished out of a canoe for several years back in the early 2000s, and a tornado hit my family's farm, and my canoe went for a flight. Held in a tree a couple miles away. So
wow.
I didn't go out and buy anything immediately. I kind of went and did some other things for a few years, and my uncle had a tandem Jackson kayak on my dad's lake here, so I hopped in it, and I fell in love with it, getting back out on, and I really started liking the kayak platform, and so I started looking around at them, and I actually went to Strictly Sail in Cincinnati and talked to Brian, and I went to go look at a different brand, and he was actually taking somebody to the water, go test out a couple of Hobies. As soon as I got in that pro angler, there wasn't nothing else I was gonna flip the bill after I got in that dude.
That was it, huh?
I bought a new Pro Angler 14 and been at it ever since. That was end of 2017. I got it. Was a 2018. I got the Pro Angler.
Nice. So when did you get into rod building?
That early 2018. So
Yeah.
I've got a friend that builds lures, and his dad built custom rods, and his dad passed away, and I bought out a lot of the guy's supplies and stuff he had, and
Gotcha.
I just started building rods for myself. And after I built a few rods, I started showing some of my friends, and they're like, "Man, these are nicer than anything you can buy in the store." And because I started looking around, I wanted an American-made rod, and for what I was paying for them, I felt that I could build something better and cheaper that I like better. I've never been a fan of the cork or the EVA foam and stuff like that, and I use a lot of carbon fiber. You know, I do use some wind grips. Some guys just gotta have the wind grips, but most of the stuff you're gonna see me do is gonna be carbon fiber.
Yeah, super lightweight rods. That was one of the first things I noticed. When I ran into you at a expo, just picking up some of those rods, just the weight of them and how balanced they were and how light they were, and comfortable in the hand was really impressive to me. And you do something a little bit different on your casting rods than most rod companies. In fact, I don't think that I've ever seen what you do in the bass space at all. So you want to talk a little bit about what that's all about?
Yeah, I offer a spiral wrap, or some people call it an acid wrap. This one right here has got that. So basically, you got your reel would be on here, and your first guide comes out straight up like a typical casting rod. But after that, it rotates 60 degrees out. So then you get to your fourth guide out, your line is on the bottom of the rod, and from that point on, it comes off the rod like a spinning rod. And there's a few advantages to that. You notice that a lot of bigger fish, it kind of eliminates the torque in the rod, the rod trying to rotate over in your hand. It eliminates that. You got better control of the fish because that line is not fighting off the tip of your rod.
Yeah.
You notice when you're fighting a fish with a spinning rod, you're able to kind of control that fish a little better. It's the same principle here with the spiral wrap. and then your line is never laying on the blank because it's not just draped across the top of the blank on a straight guide train. So as it wraps around, once it's on the bottom, it's in the guides, and it's not contacting the blank. So all that sensitivity is going to come through the guides and like it's supposed to.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. I love it. And what you're saying about fighting fish is so true. I fully believe that. I've been able to play big fish right there at the boat, under the boat, with that rod that I don't think I could have with any other rod. So that's a great, excellent point that you bring up there.
I hadn't never used one until I built my first one. And once I built the first one, I was like, yeah, this is, and the guys that'll give it a chance, they all love it.
Yeah, I got to be honest. When I first saw it, I definitely questioned it. I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know if I like that or not, because it's different, right? I mean, you grow up in the sport and in the industry like I did, never seen anything like that, and then here it is. You just question it, and it wasn't until I actually, I listened to you and I got one of those rods and I tried it and I was like, okay, all right, I believe you now. So, definitely something different.
It's nothing new. It's been around for a long time. It's been in the saltwater world forever. So that's kind of where it started, was in the saltwater, I guess.
Yeah, but, exactly. So awesome.
When I first met you at the shows, you have them rods set up and they look different.
Mm-hmm.
When you got a row of fishing rods and they're all straight guides, and you got this one, first thing guys want to do is you got to keep an eye on it. They want to grab it and try to straighten out the guides.
That's funny. Wait, hold up. Gonna break a high-end rod right there.
They give it a shot. I've not had anybody that's said, no, I don't want to go that way. So, and I sold one guy a 747, my heavy chatterbait rod, and I sold him a used one of my personal rods, and I cleaned it up good and gave it to him. Well, I guess, I don't know if after I cleaned it up and getting to the show, I messed up one of the guides. And so in the meantime, I gave him a spiral wrap rod, the same model, while I brought it home and fixed the one and got it back to him. In the time for me to get it home and fix it and get it to him in a week, he fell in love with that spiral wrap.
Yeah, didn't want the standard anymore. Nice. Yeah, I really do see a difference. Like you said, playing fish at the boat, just fighting them in general, casting, all of that sensitivity. I mean, spot on with that. You definitely see a difference between that spiral wrap, as we call it, and those standard guide placements. So now let's talk a little bit about the blanks you use. American-made blanks, pretty cool stuff there. So you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I use a blank company out of Arizona, Taipan rod blanks. My guy Simon makes all my blanks, and I couldn't be happier that I come across these blanks, because they're super tough. A lot of people think when you get into these higher end blanks that you lose some durability, and with these blanks here, I've not encountered that at all. And I'm hard on my equipment for that reason, because I want to make sure the stuff holds up. And I've not actually broke the tip or anything on any of my rods, so I got no complaints, and I don't have rods coming back broken. So that's
yeah, I can back that up, man. Like in the past, I've used some higher end rods. I'm talking the 250 plus rods. Super lightweight. And they're fragile. And even the rod builders will tell you, like, you want a really sensitive rod, they are going to be a little bit more fragile. You got to be, and these rods are just as light, just as sensitive. But like you said, I've not had a single issue with them. and caught some big fish on them. And I agree. I mean, he's got it down with these blanks. He's got that lightweight, that sensitivity, but also keeping them durable and strong. And that's definitely important for kayakers. We're a little rougher on our rods than the guys in the bass boats. Taking them in and out of the vehicles and the rod tubes, and hitting them on overhanging limbs and things like that. So definitely a little bit rougher here in the kayak scene, and we need a tough rod blank. And you got that there with those. And you got several different models that you're offering up as well.
Yeah. Well, when we're talking about durability and kayak fishing and stuff like that, that's actually, I'm kind of always trying to better what I do. So one of the things that I found out was kayak fishing, I get my rods hung up in the trees and stuff like that. And at first I was trying to be really precise and really clean on my small single foot guides, and they would take a lot of abuse, but at a certain point they're going to come loose because it's such a small guide foot. So I went to a larger guide, same guide, just a little bit larger guide foot,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was actually repairing a high-end rod, and it was deconstructing it and seeing how that they was wrapping them small little guide foots, and I learned something, and I integrated that into my rods, and it seems to help that portion of them smaller guides being able to lock them onto the rod blank a little better than what I initially was doing.
Absolutely. And guys, I'll just kind of throw out a little tip there. Something that I do to protect the tip of my rods. You got these high-end rods, you want to keep them nice. Anytime I'm on the water, I actually keep my rod covers on my rod. TRC covers, Kyle's got them right there. I actually keep those on my rod, and that serves two purposes. One, it protects my rod tips when I'm close to shore like that and fishing. Also, we put these little VisiCarbon flags on the back of our kayak so that people can see us, and that's great. And I'm not taking away from that. I still have that on the back of my kayak. But there's nothing that's going to make you stand out more than all these rods sticking up with rod covers on them. You can see them from 6 miles away. And I get comments from boaters all the time about it, and other kayakers. So just something to think about there, guys, especially if you're fishing shallow on the shore and you're going to be around overhanging stuff. Protect your rods with TRC covers, and also keep yourself safe. What's that?
I need to do a better job of that.
Yeah. I do have a tendency, like if I'm like fishing 2 or 3 different baits quite a bit, like back and forth, I'll leave them off, but I need to be better about always putting it back on. So anyway, quick little tip there for you guys. Keep your rods protected. Austin jumping in the comments up. He's saying he's going to hit you up. He needs a cranking rod. Also, he apologizes for the rough fishing there at Brookville. I don't know how much he actually had to do with that. If you have the power to change the fishing conditions, though, Austin, I want to be better friends than we already are. We need to talk about what's going on. But so let's talk about it. Austin, bringing up cranking rods here. What do you offer for cranking rods?
Really, I can do about anything that you can think of. I've built anywhere from 6'9" all the way up to 8 foot. So medium up to extra heavy, or heavy plus, actually.
Gotcha. So if you needed something for a square bill versus a 6XD or Magnum square bill or something like that, you've got it all. And that's what's great about the custom, side of this. Unlike going into a retail shop and buying just kind of generically made things, you're building them exactly how guys want them for the specific purposes they're using them for.
Yeah,
so
for the most part, on a cranking rod, on your carbon rod, you're going to be a moderate fast. It seems to be a really good. Now for my square bill rod, I do offer a 7 foot medium moderate. and then I also have the 7-foot medium fast, so I have it both moderate and fast. So,
Okay, awesome. So let's talk about that. I think a lot of times in the kayak space, a lot of people are newer to fishing. They maybe don't know all the lingo. They don't know exactly what kind of rods they should be getting, and there's a lot of bad information out there. So let's talk a little bit about those rod actions. So you've got, it's a 7-foot, medium heavy, moderate, fast action rod. What does that mean?
So what that's going to do, let's see here. This is a 7-foot moderate. So as I start to bend that, it's the working part of the section of the rod is further down the blank. So the faster the rod, the closer the working section of the rod is going to be towards the end of the blank. So you get out like an extra heavy or an extra fast rod, that tip of that rod is going to be really flimsy. And then as you start getting up, your more moderate rods get back into the closer to the backbone of the rod. And I tell everybody, me personally, I like more of a moderate fishing rod than I don't have an extra fast period. I don't like them. I've tried using them. I lose a lot of fish. I don't know if it's just being in the kayak. But when it comes to landing fish, I land a lot more with a moderate rod just because it's more forgiving, and it allows that rod to work a little better, I believe, and get down into the backbone better.
Yeah. And a lot of this is preference based and a lot of it is situational, but and that's the great thing about custom rods. You can get what you want, but I like what you're saying there. As kayakers, a lot of times the way we land fish is completely different than the guys in the bass boats. And all of your rods out there are built with bass boaters in mind. I think a lot of times guys think a kayak rod, it should be shorter and the butt should be shorter. That's not really the case. What you're talking about is the action of it, the way you handle that fish when you get it to the boat, the way you land that fish. That's what's really different. Not so much how you work your rod and how you cast, but how you're landing these fish. So that's a great point that you bring up there. One of my favorite rods, and a lot of big fish have been caught on this rod lately. Alan put up a big fish there at Gunnersville last year. I've caught a couple good ones over 20 this year as well. I think you got a good one on it recently too, didn't you?
I've caught a couple nice fish on. You're talking about the CB763.
Yep, the CB763. That is an amazing rod right there. That's a 7.6 rod. I throw my chatterbaits on it. I throw my lipless crankbaits on it. I throw my bigger square bills on it as well. The big Magnum square bills on there. That is an amazing rod right there.
If I was going to have one medium heavy rod, it would be that rod.
Yeah.
I consider that moderate fast. Guys love it for jig fishing. There's been some big fish caught on jigs on it. Spinner baits. I think Alan was using a buzz bait. You could Texas rig with that rod.
Yeah, it is a great rod. Carolina rig, I think you could throw that. I need to get another one for that exact reason. It's a very multi-purpose rod. Even at 7'6". I just love it on the moving baits so much. Big crankbaits as well. Your deep diving crankbaits it works for. But I think you could throw a swim jig on it pretty well. I've not done that. A lot of times, when you're making those long casts down those grass edges, I think it'd be a good rod for that as well. But man, there's just something about it. It catches big fish. It's great for playing those big. Those big ones fight. They're healthy. They fight and they dig at the boat, and that rod, that length and the action on that makes it easy to get in. So awesome rod there. Big 1-ounce spinner baits. It's a good rod for that as well. Your 3/4, those bottom buster type spinner baits, great rod for that as well. So
I get asked every week about the chatterbait. What do I recommend for chatterbait? And that's one of them. I got two main rods that I recommend. It's that CB763 and then the CB747. And I basically ask them, what type of cover are you going to be fishing? If you're going to be ripping that thing through a bunch of thick grass and stuff like that, then I love stepping up to that CB747. Just because it's a lot stouter rod, you can really work chatterbait through that cover and stuff. But that if you're not working it through heavy cover, you're using a 3/8 chatterbait, then you're going to want to use that 763 for sure. But you want to work through that heavy cover and stuff like that, you're going to use a heavier chatterbait, 1/2 ounce or heavier. And I always step up to that CB747. So I can have 2 of them rods and 2 of the 763s and a couple of the 702s and cover just about everything.
Yeah, and the 747, that's a extra heavy, right?
Extra heavy chatterbait. Yeah.
Yeah, extra heavy, and that's another moderate fast action rod. Another, and then 2 inches doesn't sound like a lot, but it does make a difference. So when you're fishing a little closer to the bank, up to the cover, around maybe some wood and stuff like that, and lay downs, I definitely agree that becomes a better suited rod for that chatterbait. If you're fishing like a long flat or something like that, making those long casts at 7.6 is really nice. Picking up that extra line when you get a bite right there at the first part of the cast there as well too. So
I don't want to sell the CB723 short, because it's an awesome rod also, and it's a 7.2, medium heavy, moderate fast, and the guys that want to stay around that 7 foot length, it's an awesome rod. It's an awesome rod for them guys also. Me personally, I like using a little longer rods.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we've talked a lot about casting. On the spinning side, you have several options as well. I think that 702 rod is probably your most popular.
Well, I offer in so many. You can build that. Any of my blanks can be built casting or spinning. First off, so you got. Sure. If you're intimidated by a casting rod, but you've been wanting a certain rod that you just can't find in a store or something like that, you're wanting a heavier chatterbait rod, but you want it in a spinning rod, I can do it. So,
I hope Chris Hillebrand's watching, because he's the only guy I know that throws a chatterbait he throws a frog, everything, a spinning reel. And that's something you actually see quite a bit. That's just one name that comes to mind. But you actually see that quite a bit in the kayak space. Guys who live and die by the spinning rod. I don't understand it personally. But for those of you that want to do that, Kyle's your guy. He can make you a punching rod in spinning. So not going to find that at Bass Pro Shops on the rack.
No, I can do it. So, yeah. And it goes the other way. And the funny thing, one of the very first customer rods that I sold was a guy I met at a show, had a little bit of a disability with one of his hands, and he couldn't work the bail of a spinning rod very well. And he wanted a nice drop shot rod. I built him a drop shot rod in a casting form. And at that time, I hadn't really thought, I was like, man, that's kind of, you're going to have a specialized reel to cast that, that type of lure
right.
Stuff first off. But he loves it. And since then, I've sold a couple more of them. And the guys that are willing to get the proper reel for that type of application, that rod is awesome. And I'm going to build me one. So.
Yeah, that's cool. I've never considered throwing a standard drop shot. Now, a power drop shot, if you will, I've thrown on casting gear for sure, bulking up and fishing in the grass and the pads and stuff. But I've never considered throwing, just a standard lightweight, finesse type drop shot on a casting gear. It's interesting. Very cool. Very cool. Well, man, How does someone go about getting a rod from you if they want to?
I have a website. It's www.king-angler.com, and you can email me through there. You can private message me on Facebook. Um, my phone number's both on the King Angler page and the Facebook page. You can call me directly, leave me a message. Um, Honestly, direct message on Facebook is probably the easiest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, typically, you can catch you at the shows every year. Anything locally, you tend to do it. Fortunately, obviously, in 2020 and 2021 so far, that's been a little bit tougher. We haven't seen the shows come around, but once those come back, you can guarantee you'll see Kyle at the shows. And then, if you guys ever want to check out a rod, there's several of us here in the state that have them. You can always hit me up. I'd love to put one in your hands. I was impressed early on, and I'm sure you will be too. So I'd love to share them with you guys. Anytime we're out on the water, you see me at the ramp or anything like that, you want to check one out for a minute, hit me up. Kyle's good about it as well. So yeah, guys, if you're interested in talking more to Kyle about these rods or possibly getting one yourself, definitely hit him up. Check him out on Facebook and Instagram. If you guys have any questions for Kyle, feel free to drop those in the comments. We'd love to answer any of those real quick that you guys have. What have we not talked about, Kyle, that people need to know about your rods or just in general rod selection?
Well, man, I don't know. I've got working on some different stuff coming out. Different carbon fiber grips that I can make. Like these, I don't know how well you can tell. The camera's a little far away. These blue, it's like a blue, but they're hard. That's a carbon fiber and a fiberglass weave, and then I've put it over in a foam core that I could ream out, and then I've tinted the epoxy blue and turned that material into a blue material. So I can make that the standard carbon fiber. I can make different carbon fiber there. If you don't want the soft, textured carbon fiber, I do offer the smooth tube style carbon fiber that's already made up. If I get that, split grips or individual grip. Offer carbon reel seats. I use a lot of the Alps reel seats because they're comfortable in the hand, and one of the main things is the hood. It has aluminum double locking hood on it, and it really secures the reel a lot better than a lot of your standard reel seats do.
Do you know off the top of your head what like a 7-foot rod typically weight wise would run?
I've not done that, and I'm going to do a comparison between a standard 702 and then the 702 3K when I get it done, because the guide train on the carbon version they're going to be titanium torzite Fuji guides. So they won't weigh anything. It'll be like less than a gram for the whole guide train.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, your rods are already so light. I can't imagine them being any lighter. So I can't wait to see what you're doing with this new one here. So
I don't honestly with the blank itself. I'm going to have to put it on a male scale, because it's the other ones, the 40-ton carbon graphite are already so light you can't hardly tell a difference, honestly.
Right, it's crazy.
But the finished weight, with the titanium torzite guides and stuff like that, on your bigger, longer rods, going to the lightweight guides, at the end of the day is when you'll notice that you've been chucking some big heavy crankbait or something like that, big swim bait around all day. You're going to back and your legs and your arms. And
Oh yeah, that wrist starts hurting, man. You start seeing those guys out there, working that wrist out because
lighter you can make the rod, the better off you're going to be. So.
Absolutely. Well, Kyle, man, thanks for jumping on. Thanks for doing what you do. You've really poured a lot into the local community lately. I've seen you sponsoring events, helping out with everything here in the state. The HKB State Championship, SIAC. I know you're doing some stuff for them with not only this current event. You're going to be awarding the top veteran angler in the SIAC event this month with a rod. Also, the big bass of the year for SIAC with a rod. So doing big things, man. That's awesome. One of the main reasons I wanted to have you on here tonight because you're doing big things to the community. So we want to do things for you as well and let people know about you and what you're about. So make sure to go check out Kyle, King Angler Rods on Facebook and Instagram, Kyle King on Facebook and Instagram as well. And thanks for coming on tonight, man. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you having me on. So
yeah,
these videos get out. I've done a couple of them, and I've sold rods in Oregon and Texas and everything off of doing these videos. So I look forward to it. I appreciate you having me.
You bet, man. And hopefully some guys try out King Angler Rods after watching this. All right, buddy.
To touch on is I do offer a contingency.
Oh yeah, totally forgot about that. Shame on me.
If you purchased a fishing rod and you win a kayak fishing tournament with at least 30 anglers or more, it's a $50. You're going to get $50 cash. If you podium and you get a second or a third, I'm going to give you, I believe, second is a $30 credit to King Angler, and then third is a $20 King Angler credit.
Awesome. So you had to have bought a rod, right?
Yep, you had purchased a rod.
And be in the top.
Yep, of 30 anglers or more tournament.
Anything else in order to get in?
The rod, my logo has to be in your tournament pictures that you submit to.
Okay.
Like Fishing Chaos or Tourney X or whatever.
Gotcha. So if you got a King Angler hat, throw it down there in the picture, or a sticker, or whatever.
Face buff, the rod buff. As long as the full King Angler logo's in the picture, I'll accept it.
There you go. So you could just lay the rod butt across there and get the logo in there. Okay, cool. So get your logo in the photo.
I had two guys the very first week. I get calls and they was kicking themselves. One guy won a tournament. I had a guy buy a fishing rod in his first fishing tournament. He won with it. He was happy, but then he was kicking himself that he
missed out on $50.
He didn't have a sticker in the picture.
There you go. That's awesome, man. Well, thanks so much for everything you're doing and putting out contingencies like that. That's pretty cool. We don't see that much in this in the kayak side, so that's really cool to see you doing that.
I'm trying to do stuff. A lot of times I would be really busy from the fishing shows in the wintertime. I'd be coming out of them, and them fishing shows, they keep me busy up through July into August, just off of the 3 or 4 fishing shows I do off of orders and stuff, and that didn't happen this year. So I had a pretty good little rush there last month, but I'm starting to get caught up now. And I've got a good selection of blanks right now. So right now is a pretty good time if you're thinking about getting one, right now is a pretty good time to jump in with an order.
Awesome. Well, there you guys have it. Kyle King Angler Rods, man, doing big things, building great rods. Appreciate you coming on, my friend. And we'll talk to you soon. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, buddy. There you have it, guys. King Angler Rods ready. Got some blanks in, ready to build some rods for you. Jump on, support local every chance you get, guys. I can't say that enough. Whether that be the local tackle shops, the rod builders, local bait companies, any chance you get to support these small shops and these local guys. That's what we want to do, right? Help your friends out. Help out those that are helping us. So huge shout out to Kyle King for everything he's doing here in the community. And go check out his rods. Hopefully you learned something tonight, or at least got to be exposed to a new rod that you've not heard of maybe before. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that show. A couple other shout outs real quick. TRC Covers and Wicked Weights both running some really awesome promotions right now. I want to show those to you guys real quick if I can. We got TRC Covers just launched a limited edition autism awareness cover. Really cool. They're going to be donating $1 from every cover to Autism Anglers, which is a great nonprofit organization helping get kids dealing with autism on the water and enjoying the outdoors. Not only that, they've knocked the price down on these covers. It's just $9 for a casting or a spinning custom cover. So check that out. trccovers.com gets you a custom autism awareness cover. And then Wicked Weights, another company doing big things here in the local community, helping support Grubby and SIAC, HKB, having a huge sale here, 30% off all black worm weights and flipping weights. So the mortar bumps and the tracers, as they call them, wickedweights.com, limited time offer, no promo code needed. They're already marked down. I mean, tungsten starting at less than $3 a pack. You can't beat that. So go check that out at wickedweights.com. I'll also tell you, TRC Covers right now is running a giveaway, like a sweepstakes, where you can enter to win a fishing trip with Michael Neal, Bass Pro Tour, Major League Fishing Pro, Michael Neal on Lake Chickamauga. He owns the Dayton boat dock. It's his home lake. He knows it very, very well. I call him Mr. Consistent. He's always right there at the top, running for AOI, running for the championships. So that's another great thing you guys can sign up for at trccovers.com. Huge shout out to them and Wicked Weights tonight. Great promos, and they're doing big things in the community. So huge shout out to them. All right, guys, that's it. Make sure to get signed up. Lots of tournaments going on right now in the state. We've got several events popping up over the next few weeks. You guys can go to HoosierKayakBassin.com, check out what's coming up. We got Grubby Summit Lake this week. April 26th or 22nd through the 26th, you got Bluegrass, Monroe, Raccoon, West Boggs. You can fish 4 different events in 5 days there with Grubby. SIAC kicking off their first live event on Patoka Lake. Make sure you get signed up. That's going to be a good one. Great timing on this event as well. Should be an awesome pre-spawn bite there. And then IKA kicking off things on May 1st with Lake Wawasee. We'll get the 2 charity events, Glenn Landstrom's charity event and Cash Hicks charity event up for you guys very soon. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you for watching. And we will see you all very, very soon with the next episode next Thursday, 8:30, HKB podcast live right here on Facebook and YouTube. Talk to you soon. Thanks.